away that ultimate from Rakan to make an incredible game-winning play. And let me tell you, there are a lot of incredible ults for him to take once again.
And I'm definitely looking at the Nico ultimate for sure, too.
Out an escape, if you do find your ultimate, BDD will be able to maintain his pressure on this lane, but he does have to pay for it heavily.
And the critical part is that T1, they don't overextend the play because Cousin Peter were on the way there, and now they're looking at Guma.
KT getting aggressive, just knocking down Gumayushi, taking first blood as Peter flawlessly turns into the Canyon minion to eat countless tower shots to take the first Drake of the game. KT with a small gold lead, but T1 balancing it out with this Cloud Drake. Cuz on the top side means no contest to come through, and T1 doing a better job of not giving away too much control in this game too.
Could be very big. Is going to mean that KT will start up these grubs though, and Peter heals up off those honey fruit.
And Faker doesn't have his ultimate available, so that might be the reason why T1 is a little bit hesitant. And also this time, their skirmishing just isn't quite as strong, right? In the previous game, I think that they had so much power there.
BDD.
Not quite the case here.
Getting aggressive, access to the golden clips is there.
Multiple items to really have that extra pressure, and the team is built around a Sivir Lulu comp here. While there's possibilities elsewhere.
Nice side step from BDD, just barely able to get away. Vault Breaker coming in for Cuz, opts not to flash. The turn back from Owner is solid. Faker now on the way in himself, trying to use the golden clips to keep things going. The Ezreal ulti across the top. BDD grabbing one. Faker will turn it back, but he's under the tower, and it's Cuz to take him down.
And it's the subterfuge from KT. Cuz actually spotted.
Drop, but it might not matter. Peter with flash available.
There's the ult.
Cuz off to the side. Ulti from Doran's not going to catch anybody, but it might have zoned KT away enough. Doran likely to give his life here, but the Drake already down in favor of T1. On the hunt, popped. Perfect tunneling out to safety. T1 got what they came for.
To be very careful about how he picks his fights because, again, T1, there's only 2 big carries, but this early on, the damage is still there as BDD.
BDD potentially caught out, layering into CC a little bit off. BDD unstoppable for a brief moment, ready to use the ulti, but Faker has stolen one away. The goal in the clips, but the follow-up is there from Peter. Makes it a 1-for-1. Vault Breaker coming in. Faker just CC'd for an eternity. The Kingslayer healing not available in time as Cuz is on a killing spree.
And the teleport from Doran does signal they want something.
I need to be careful.
Tower going to fall. Likely not enough damage to kill Doran, but at least zoning him away as they set their sights on the objective. Herald already started. Cuz will secure it uncontested.
I did get tricked by Peter being Mel there. I'm like, oh, 11, good amount of... No, they don't have damage. The play still works out, though, very nicely for KT. They get Doran's TP. They're able to get topside turret.
Holding on to a decent lead of his own. Has opted for a bit of healing reduction. Going to make things that much harder for Owner and Faker as the charge comes through.
And last time, this was the point where T1 turned the game. The lead this time is bigger for KT. But I think T1 don't want to let them get this dragon. Want to get soul point themselves.
Faker's ulti available. Needs to hijack the ulti of Peter. Chip really starting to hurt onto Doran. Catch over the wall onto Cuz, the most fed member. They're immediately going to delete him, and the rest of KT try to pull the trigger, but they can't quite find the angle. BDD docked him. They've got the range advantage. Peter waiting to peel for them if necessary. Perfect. Spots them in the darkness. The tremor sense showing him what he needs to see, but they've stopped moving or have moved out of range. He can't be certain now. The Q from Doran moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse from BDD. A new dawn for KT in game 2, but T1 are unconcerned. Guma, Keria standing, the bot lane. Will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gumayushi fearlessly advancing, ricocheting, tearing through the dreams of KT.
Guma with the moves at the end. He gets the extra kills and cleans up for T1.
Behind in game 1 and game 2, but this man is a team fighting demon. The dragon starting to fall. Turn back from Faker as he catches out Doc Dom. Cuz there to try and peel, but it is too late. Owner moving in. A cataclysm across the top side. Perfectly canceled. BDD flashing over the wall. Gumayushi still living. Perfect on the chase. Peter wants to fire back. Cuz running for the hills. 2 down on the side of T1, but Guma might be enough. Perfect. Gets the bite. Tears right through him, and now it's Owner picked off as well. KT fighting for their lives. BDD still standing, crucially. The extra damage. Doran set to fall. A double kill for the KT mid laner.
And BDD stands supreme on the mill. Stays alive through it all. And that is going to be the Otacon.
BDD said in the trailer that he was inspired to become a mid laner by Faker's play.
How durable those team members can become, but Baron, more important, 43 seconds. Perfect trying to push in this wave. A lot of damage to finish that tower up. Unaware of the Scion, but knows that he has relative safety. Has to be careful about walking forward towards that brush. And Doran perfectly placed and baited Dokdom. Far too confident.
So it makes sense that T1 gives it up, because looking at the spikes, Guma didn't have his IE, just now finishes it, and BDD did have his death cap. So fighting just before, really your main hyper carry has that crucial third item break point. Definitely not the right call, but it's really the confidence of KT to say, hey, you killed Dokdom, that's fine, we're going to put some pressures. He finishes the Serpent's Fang, which against Lulu and Scion, going to get a ton of value.
And now we get to see the critical point.
In the face of crit itemization, it's going to be so hard to match the damage that Sivir is bringing to the table.
Everyone holding their breath for the next team fight to see if KT can turn this gold lead into a team fight victory for one of these critical objectives.
They know!
Full committing. T1 now turning to Baron. They don't want to risk the contest here. Owner starting the objective. As you get into the fight, keep your eyes on the key carries, Guma and BDD. If either one falls, their team very likely to win the fight. Interrupt there. The Baron not very quick. Chemtech Drake down. Soul point there. Might just come down to the 50-50. Cuz on the way. T1 tried to make the counterplay, but walk away empty-handed. Waiting, looking for these angles. If KT make one tiny mistake, they're looking to pounce.
T1 now looking to pounce Dokdom in the river, but he is Ezreal.
Dokdom, pass over the wall. Peter looking to make a play. Lockdown onto Faker, looking to turn it back. Root is connected as well. Faker's been caught. Buys a brief moment with the Seekers. The rest of T1 retreating. Perfect buying a bit more space, and the tunnel over the wall. It's a heist. He buys the time to take Faker down. Doran with a decimating smash. Peter on the chase. They'll only connect onto one, but it's enough to start the fight in their favor. Gumayushi untouched, but he's now also not able to do any damage. Cuz keeping it going. KT pushing into the jungle of T1, zoning them away from the Baron as they set their sights on that Red Bull Baron power play.
They win the critical fight. They find Faker. They get the advantage. And Perfect is able to escape. Wait a second.
BDD flash. Doran forced to flash back over the wall. Sidestep on the decimating smash. Peter there to cover. Guma can't push for anything else. Doran getting chunked out. That's the ulti to seal it. BDD going godlike. Guma alone in the mid lane. Objective slowly falling. Owner zoned off. Perfect there with the knockup. Needs to lock it down. Owner's not going to have a chance. KT, it takes some time, but they take down the Baron.
Combination gets his Zonias early. And then here, Perfect at the back. This is one of the best changes they made to Rek'Sai. After using your ult, your W just goes on a 1 second cooldown, so you can then use Tunnel.
The angle there. You can't just walk past the Nico, because Peter held his ult, and now the Red Bull Baron power play for KT. 8k, 9k gold lead here. 35 minutes in.
Looking damn good. Faker going golden. The second the chain's missed, he doesn't want to push for anything else. Vault break over the wall from Kuz, ready to go, but he's not going to overextend because the mid lane's already falling. KT taking their sweet time with this one, knowing that T1 have one shot to turn this back in their favor.
It's just Guma. He's just a Sivir trying his best, but
two members of T1 over the wall. KT retreating back down to the bottom lane as Kuz starts the objective. Flag there, spots the objective play. Faker on the flank. Perfect, not going to give him the angle. KT starting to retreat, starting to get forced backwards. Doran to kick things off. Peter to look for the interrupt. Faker using an ulti of his own to be stolen away. BDD taking another fight, but down goes Guma. Kuz making it work, but PD's owned away by Carrier, and all of KT now collapsing on the T1 support. At the end of the day, it is only Owner, and he cannot stop the soul.
KT get the soul, and they want the Nexus too!
Perfect continues to push down. They've learned, they've adapted, they've stayed strong in the face of the game one loss. KT firing back against T1, but do they have the power to end the game? Another TP, Dokdom on the way. Doran giving everything to clear the waves. Owner and Carrier here. Surely the Ezreal is enough, but the creeps are falling back. Doran remains standing. T1 are not out of it yet. Dokdom needs more, and he cannot get it.
Guma's up in 10 seconds. The reinforcements from T1 will arrive.
The T1 will cling on to this game.
They don't need to risk anything, and still they'll take their time walking into the jungle. This time around, Doran won't be able to find the blind decimating smash, but the ulti to kick things off, he connects onto the wall. Perfect waiting on the back line. Dokdom untouched, BDD untouched. Doran straying way too far forward in a moment of miscommunication. Down goes the top laner of T1. KT start the Baron.
That faceplant means Baron, boys.
It was always going to be a Hail Mary from T1 if they wanted to get back in this game, but that one does not hit the mark. That's Baron, the second one for KT.
Last inhib tower falling down, inhibitors following after. T1, a last desperate hold here in game 2. If they can turn it back, it takes them to match point, but KT set to even up the series in the 2025 World Finals. Doran isolating Cuz. Peter going forward, finds 3 with the knockup. Perfect there to follow. The finger turns it right back and knocks down Peter. Doctom, BDD, still standing. Bakuma! He's shredding through everybody! The Sivir finally allowed to take over the fight! But they managed to take him. Faker still alive in the scrappy fight. The extra healing is making all the difference. Doctom doesn't quite have the damage that he needs. KT holding on for dear life. Doctom able to find the kill. Perfect. Cuz Doctom falls. A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor. But Perfect is going to end the game. Guma dies, and so does T1. KT even up the series.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Perfect, reliable as all hell in this game, doesn't go down.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.